Hello, Leo, my beautiful lions. My name is Mara, and welcome to Daughter of Wind Tarot. I just got finished yelling at Aries. I don't know, it just came out. I have been led to use some of my more personal decks. They're a little intense, and yeah, we had like a 4-card reading. Just being led to more of a channeling type of vibe here, versus the love reading zodiac stuff, which I still have. I'll have both on here. But so right now I'm using my Mystical Shaman Oracle Guidebook, and we'll just see where it takes us. I've also got the Good Tarot here, which I was told to keep out. So we'll just see what we get, okay? If you have any questions about watching Daughter of Wind Tarot, I'll have a link here in about 30 seconds, or you can go downstairs, okay? All right, so welcome. And I hope you had a fabulous weekend, full moon weekend. I'm usually really taken out by full moons, but I'm a 5-planet Virgo, and this is all, I'm just feeling it. I am absolutely feeling it. Ooh, beautiful card. We've got Upper World. Look at that. All right, let's see what else we get here. Ooh, the Sacrifice upside down. Let me get 2 more. The Serpent. Ooh, all right. Wow, okay. So I have the Upper World, the Sacrifice, the Serpent. Don't be afraid of the Lower World, and Wild Woman. Love that for you, Leo. Interesting. I am going to read the Upper World here, and we'll just use that as a jumping off point, okay? Let's see where this takes us. Okay, the essence of this card: angels, divine helpers, the ancient ones, and all varieties of luminous beings populate the upper world. It is the place where you go to retrieve your destiny and find out who you will become, discover your great potentials and undreamt of possibilities. It is also the place where the spirits of the dead arrive when they complete their journey to the light. The invitation: the upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self. Clear distractions so you can move into a higher destiny. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is in fact the irritation you need to take the great leap. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in 2 small jumps. Okay, woo! I'm starting to see the journey here. All right, so I feel like what this is calling you, asking you, these cards are asking you, it's to connect with your higher self. It's calling you to take the place of who you are and your being as a lion, as the king of the jungle. You know, it's talking about, yes, you have many steps in between here and where you want to be, but your spirit team is always here, right? But what do you have to sacrifice? Sometimes we have to sacrifice our friends, our family, our social circles into being the unique beings that we are. We have to take a piece of ourselves and offer it to other people. You know, sometimes, you know, when I started this journey of trying to figure out, you know, who am I? What am I? People are like, what do you want in life? I don't know. I'll just take it as I come, right? I'm a Sagittarius, you know, cusper, whatever. I'll just take it as it comes. And here I feel like it's saying that, no, we need to find ourselves within ourselves. And how do we do that? How do we buckle down and say, what are my talents? What are my gifts? We have to ask our higher beings, regardless of whether you believe in church or God or a universe or what have you. If I feel like you're here because you do believe in something bigger than yourself, or else you wouldn't believe in tarot. You wouldn't believe that I have any skills or skills, or anybody else has any skills in connecting with a higher realm. So I feel like we've already, you know, crossed that bridge here. We've got a master number here, 444. But here I feel like it's just asking you to take flight. Yeah, here you see she's got these wings, and it feels like they're held back. They're almost grown into her back. This is a remembrance card. So what you see as a sacrifice isn't a sacrifice at all. It's taking a piece of you and actually showing it to the world and saying, here I am, this is who I am, these are the pieces that no longer serve me. But the sacrifice is the sacrifice of the comfort of the creature comforts that we have with the people that we deal with, right? When we say that, the devil we know is better than the devil we don't know. So we stay in these situations, right? We stay in these situations and these scenarios and these environments and with these people that make us put our feathers down, make us close our wings back, right? And then we ask angels, we ask God, we ask readers to tell us what's going on in our life, who we are, who we're supposed to be with. We ask people on Facebook, what color should I dye my hair? What do you think of this? How many likes did I get because I posted this picture that I really think is great? I posted it from way out high because I don't want anybody to see my double chin, right? I don't want people to see exactly how bad my skin looks or whatever it is. I am way too afraid. And then we make fun of people that go up there and show their real selves, right? We're like, why would you go on there and put yourself out that? I've even done it myself. Readers are going on there and doing readings and I'm like, man, you look like hell. I've got this whole sense of me, like as, as a flight attendant being, having a being presentable out in public and always making sure that you're looking your best to your nines. But why don't we show people our real selves? Because we're afraid. I was just listening to this podcast the other day, and they're talking about the reason why we focus on our looks and we focus on the outward appearances, because we feel like it's the only thing we change. A lot of us feel stuck, and we say, I don't know how to change. I don't know how to. I don't even know what I can give. I don't know what I can offer. We only feel like we can offer what we have to give, or the things that we're doing in our life at the time. So I'm going to be a better waitress. I'm going to be a better this. I'm going to be a bigger bitch. I'm going to be an asshole. I'm going to be the machoest guy I possibly can. I'm going to be the gayest guy I possibly can. And look, I've been everywhere, been there, slept with that. I am not judging. But what I'm saying is that we take the things that we've been given to us and passed down, either be it by ancestral, or generational curses or thought patterns, or wherever we have come from. We take those and we project those feelings onto other people, right? And we say, you're doing bad or you're doing good or whatever. We just look at the outside, but we don't see the inner veneer. Now when I meet people and they are just like, I do this and I do that, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Right? When before I was like, man, I wish I was like them. Now when I see someone that's just completely just out and loud and proud, I'm like, man, they must be hurting, right? Because only any alpha will tell you, a true alpha will tell you that the person that goes around saying they're an alpha is not an alpha. They're beta as hell, right? Because anyone that's got to go, it's just like this restaurant that's, I hope I don't get in trouble calling them out, but there's this restaurant in Morehead City and it's called The Sanitary. It's one of the most famous places, older established, built in 1973, whatever. And all I can think about in my head is what is wrong with that restaurant that they have to call themselves sanitary, right? I do not want to eat there because I feel like they're trying too hard. And that's how I feel about social media. And that's why, I go up there and yes, now that I post the pictures that I'm posting up there, I'm showing people what I'm doing in my life. And yes, I look great, but do I have makeup on all the time? No. Do I, am I making sure that my angles, whatever? No. I posted some pretty gnarly pictures up there myself. There was a really long time I was super overweight and I didn't post to Facebook, or I put a filter on or something like that because I didn't want people to know how big I was. And yes, I'm posting now that I've lost the weight and everything like that, but I'm also posting my biggest pictures of me. The biggest picture I have that I didn't even know how much I weighed because I stopped weighing myself, right? And it was so difficult at the time for people to see who I was, or or interact with who I was or anything like that when I was at that weight, because that weight, really, it's not like, oh, I just got into shape and whatever. Like, no, it was a weight release. It was a weight release. Like the weight came off when I started doing all of this mental work, right? Why did I pack that much weight on? Because I was terrified of being beautiful, because people were so uncomfortable with how pretty I was. I was so uncomfortable with the attention that I got from men because I didn't know how to deal with it, because I'd never learned from it from my parents, right? That's why I went on the pole when I was 19 years old. And then that was my real experience in the real world of what men were like when I was a dancer in a strip club. So then no wonder I was walking around saying, I hate men. I hated them for then also not liking me because I was fat, right? I hate that it was a catch-22. So we really have to look at ourselves. Okay, let's go to the third card, which is a serpent. And I think this is just, we have this enmeshment. We have this enmeshment of society and our friends and our social circles and the people that we surround ourselves. Jim Rohn talks about how we are the average of the 5 people that we hang out with. So the people that you may like talk shit about and everything like that when you're not with them, but you still spend the majority of your time with, who do you think You reflect not only what other people think of you and who you hang out with. That's to each their own. But seriously, how do you spend all these time with these people that you can't stand or that you backbite and talk about and not think that they're not rubbing off on you because you feel like you're the one that's rubbing off on them? Obviously not, if they're still the same person, right? So sometimes we have to retract ourselves, right? We have to get away from the temptations. We have to get away from the enmeshments that we have with people and stop intertwining our energies with them. Stop exposing yourself to people. Stop sleeping around. I'm not saying not to have a good time or whatever, but realize that when you enmesh yourself with someone else's energy, you are taking on, you're not only possibly sleeping with everybody that you're sleeping with if you're not protected with, but all of their energy that's in their sacral, all of their trauma, all their childhood trauma, that is an energy exchange, right? So you have to be really careful of who you expose yourself to, and especially the people, I was listening to Vanessa Van Edwards, and going again with the 5 people that that you're the average of, is the person that you have no opinion about is actually the most dangerous. The friend that you're like, I kind of like him, I kind of don't, whatever, but you hang around them, because I would rather somebody punch me in the face and tell me that they can't stand my guts or backbite or backstab, whatever, than the person that plays the, no offense to Pisces, but the fish, the wishy-washy, that comes here and talks to you, this, that, and the other. You don't know where you stand. They might say a little comment here. You're like, was she like trying to put me down there? Or, I would rather don't give me neutral. Don't give me Switzerland. Have an opinion. Let me know where I stand with you, or walk away. Because if not, I don't want to enmesh I don't want to have, because yes, it brings us into this lower world. God, these cards are crazy. Brings you to this lower world, this ick matrix behind the screen, behind all of this and the lights that make our eyes pretty and all this other stuff. That's what people have inside, right? And when we enmesh, see this darker side and this lighter side, and it's all like, all of a sudden, this was probably really bright, this is probably really dark, but now this card's just kind of like in the middle, right? When we enmesh our energies, no matter how high vibe we are going to take on this energy, right? We are going to take this on, because the darkness we can only beat away the darkness for so long, right? Until we get sucked down into it. So you're either flying and vibing high like the hummingbird, or you have to keep beating your wings to keep that crap away, or you're going to get sucked down to it because it's easier, right? When I started standing up for myself and saying, I know who I am. I know that I'm not a slob or this, that, and the other. You know what? Because I wipe out the sink. All these things that people are like, oh, you do this and you do that. And I'm like, no, I know I don't, because I know who I am. I know how I conduct myself. We were talking about integrity with the Aries Collective, saying I do the right things when no one's looking, so you can't come back and tell me who I am. You can give me all the opinions you want about me, but I know who I am, and I am able to stand up for myself regardless. I used to say, man, nobody had my back. You didn't have my back, to my friends. Why would you let somebody talk to me like that? Why did I let somebody talk to me like that? Right? I am not looking for people to have my back. I have my own back, and so should you. Why? So we can get to this. Not giving an effing, flippin', flying fudge of what people think or who they think we should be, regardless of what creed, age, whatever it is you want to be, him, who, she, they, where, when. I don't care. But you do. Why do you care? Why do you care so much? Don't you want to be the person that's like, oh my God, I don't give a fuck? Hey, but we say that we are that person, right? I'm not going to this, that, and the other. We 7 of Swords and say, I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to be lone wolf. But we still look around to see who's looking, to see what a badass we were when we were walking away and kicking up the dust behind us, right? You don't have to be that person. You don't have to be the person that says, I'm the alpha. Being the alpha is keeping your mouth shut, observing the people around you, doing the right things, and knowing that you're an alpha within yourself. When you do that, when you shut your mouth, do the right thing, present yourself in the right way, you automatically are the alpha, and you don't have to say a damn word. Be the wild woman. Be the wild woman. Go out there into the world and be exactly who you are. And if you don't feel like you can do that, then ask yourself why. We're going to get a couple more clarifies. Wow. Woo. Got the chills now. High Priestess. See past the veil. Look past. And here's the thing. We don't have to look past people. Ooh, I see who you are. I know you must be hurt. No, look into your own trauma. look into the mirror. Can you look yourself in the eye in the mirror? You know, it was a very, very difficult exercise for me to do. Can you look yourself in the eye and say, I love you? I love you. It was a very long time until I was able to do that, because there were things about myself that I didn't love about myself. And so I couldn't look myself in the eye. Do you realize how little as a society that we look each other in the eyes, like dead in the eye, and have conversations? No, we look at our phones, we look away, we watch TV together, but we do not put our phones down and say, hey, when somebody says, somebody says, how is your day? And you're like, I wish I could tell you everything, but I'm not going to, because they're not really asking you how your day is, right? It's just a formality. I no longer hang out with those people. I do it when I'm out in the public, you know, and I have to be, you know, civil and everything like that. But the people that I have no interest hearing their stories, because I can see whatever is written all over their face or whatever it is that makes me uncomfortable. And this is using your intuition, right? I don't not drink anymore because I don't like drinking. I absolutely I was a functioning alcoholic. I drank all the time like a fish when I wasn't at work, right? Right? Because I could not deal, or I watched Netflix, or I wasn't much of a shopper, but there's plenty, we do all of these things to hide what's underneath the pain, and we call it fun, we have a good time and all this other stuff, but we sleep with the wrong people, we get knocked up, we get diseases, all of these things, we get ghosted, we get this, that, and the other, and it's why? Because we're not listening to our intuition. And everybody's like, oh, there was a little something, there was a little red flag. Why didn't you listen to it? Because you didn't feel like you deserved any better, right? And it also perpetuates your story. Oh, he's a douchebag. He's just like the rest of them. He's this, that, and the other. And everybody's like, well, why do you keep dating the same person? And there's a reason why. We are connected to the people that we date. We date the same person. It might be your dad. It might be your uncle. Who knows? You only know what's going on in yourself. But the reason why you get into the same situations, you attract the same friends, you have the same social circles, you go to the same restaurant, in my case, and the same shit happens. And it was why? Because I was still the same person. Unless you change, nothing else in your upper or your lower world is going to change. You are not going to be the wild woman. You will be chained to whatever society says to you or whatever deems is beautiful or not beautiful or anything like that, because you have not changed your own opinion of yourself. Now, I'm here to ask you, please beg and implore to ask the questions. Take out that darn, I was telling Aries that I can't stand the card that says, what do you need to release? Which of course I got today, right? What do I need to release? I don't know. When people, you date the guy and he's like, well, what do you want? And you're like, I don't know. What do you want? Oh, you don't want a relationship? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to get married. I don't want to have kids or this, that, and the other, because you're playing the game. You're soft serving him, right? You're playing the milquetoast. Like, oh, well, because you're too afraid to just say, you know what? I want kids. I want a loving husband. And if you're not it, freaking bugger off, because you don't feel like you can attract anything better than that. And isn't that sad? Again, if you want to take care of yourself like you would your child, regardless of whether you have one or not, or your pet. Most people treat their pets better than they treat themselves. They will buy better food. They bitch and moan about not having enough money, but they won't go to the produce aisle and make their own damn salad, right? They won't, which is only like $1 or whatever for like 2 heads of lettuce versus getting the bag salad and this, oh, I eat healthy and all this other crap. No, but they'll go buy their dog like a $50 bag of whatever, the dog that's this big. I'm not saying don't take care of your pets. I'm not saying that at all. But we treat others and we treat ourselves. We give so much to other people, but we don't give back to ourselves. And we don't forgive ourselves for the things that we feel like we should. And when you look back and you look into your side of yourself and you see the things that you don't like, it's not that we're playing the blame game, but you can say, you know what? I think I developed that strategy in life, or lack thereof, of coping skills, because I was never taught that. So we have to forgive, and we can't necessarily forget. But we have to forgive the people, like our parents or our society, or I don't know about our society, but the people that have surrounded us and shaped our lives, our classmates back in the day or whatever, because they were doing the best they had with the tools that they had at the time, right? That's where we stop the blame game. The buck stops here. Now, as I'm an adult, am I going to view whatever happened to me as a child in a child's eye? No, I'm older. How do I get past that? Forgive yourself for not knowing any damn better. That's the only way we can do, is have compassion for yourself. If you like blow up on somebody, say not like, oh, they deserved it, this, that, and the other. Just like, man, I was not in a good place. I hadn't had any sleep. I was so frustrated. This other person bothered me. But you don't have to say that to the person like, oh, I did that because this, that, and the other affected me, and now I'm taking it out on you. You have to say, you know what? I did it I know the scenario, but I didn't have to take it out on that person. I forgive myself for going there and saying that thing, and the right thing to do is probably making an apology, but not blaming it on someone else. Can't stand when somebody apologizes for you and say, but it was because of this. And it doesn't matter. You have the choice, right? So just acknowledge it. Say, I did have the choice. I did make the right choice at the time. It's not your fault. This is what's going on with me. Doesn't mean that I should have treated you any differently, or that I should not have treated, I don't know what I'm saying here. You know what I'm saying. Take responsibility for yourself, for your action, what flies out of your mouth, and especially what comes out of your thumbs. Just saying. That mean girl crap, you treat people the way you feel about yourself. Because if you felt great about yourself, you would never, never be the person that goes around and badmouths and backstabs your friends. And then you play this whole social ring game of who said what and he said. If you knew you didn't say anything bad, if you know you didn't tell lies on someone or whatever, you don't have to worry about shit coming back to you. And if somebody does come to you and say, oh, you did this, that, and the other, say, you know what? I damn sure didn't. And if you think that that's the person who I am, I know that that's not the person I am. And this is who I am, and walk away, and then you never talk to him again. And you feel comfortable being alone or having one friend versus 20 friends. The one true friend, the one that you can go and speak and have a conversation with. And when they say, hey, good morning, or how are you, or what's going on, you're able to say, you know what? I've had a real freaking shit-tastic day. And this is what's going on. And they're not like, yeah, I wasn't really trying to hear that, but thanks, man, appreciate it. Yeah, stop surrounding yourself with bullshit. Ask your upper world. Sacrifice the things that you need to sacrifice and be the wild woman or wild man that you are. Stop making excuses, take responsibility for your life, and please come back and see me next week. Become your own high priestess of your life. Pre-paving, get your own card. Become your own reader. Flip along with me. I want you to join my Patreon. I'm having a drive. You'll see the announcements coming up. It'll be really inexpensive to join, and then I'll go up to the regular membership tiers. But I am here not to just give you a piece of fish. I want to teach you how to fish. Right? So you can do this for yourself. I'm not just super special. I do have abilities, but we were all born with abilities. We just have to tap into them. How do we tap into them? We have to peel back the layers. The layers for me was losing the best freaking job I ever had. I thought it was the end all be all, what have you. And having to tear down the layers, getting involved with someone that was exactly like the person, even though on the outside, I thought it was completely different than anybody else. I knew it was my type, but I had no idea like how much, once I started going within, how much that would change me, which actually, and then I started losing the weight because I was releasing the weight, all of these things because I started asking myself and doing the hard questions and crying in the shower and when I was on the road and all this random stuff, doing the purging, doing the work, and then all of a sudden my abilities came online. And it's because I had to get down to the nitty gritty of who I was and the reason why I was blocking off my innate abilities that I was born with, that I was having dreams when I was a kid and writing them down, they were coming truth. And that scared me because I was raised in the church and that must be of the devil. So I must be possessed, right? And then I completely walked away from what could have helped me, an ability, a gift that could have helped me through the rest of my life because somebody else told me that I was wrong. No longer will they do that. I'm 40 years old and I'm finally standing up to myself, giving everybody the bird and say, you know what? You can go suck it. I claim who I am. You want to think it's of the devil? Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. And I don't care about their opinions anymore because I am perfectly fine being by myself. Not to say that I want to be, but I'm able to be. And that's where I want you to be. And that's the whole point of this. So we got a card right out here. Luck is on your side. This is moving forward, straight arrow, straight shooting, freaking throw off all of the pretenses of what your social circle, your parents, your family environment, your work environments are putting on you. Move forward, be freaking awesome. Thank you. I think I'm about to die. Bye.